Alright, for those of you that weren't at last night's stream, I had a hell of a night. It was amazing. I had probably like 6 to 7 good matches. I got them all saved, so we're gonna do like a stream series of sorts where the next couple videos are kind of in like a really shitty quality. Like, I apologize, but I can't run 2 cameras at the same time. Like, I can't have many cam showing what's on my desktop, and I can't have this camera, you know, showing what's on the screen, and like the frame rate lags, and it's kind of it's not my best quality, but they were really good matches, so I definitely feel the need to upload them. I have a regular from the stream that approaches me by the name of TalesFan, and he's like, "Hey, sign me up for a match," and I'm like, "All right," but thing is, I'm out of tricks to use. I have a bunch of Pokemon I haven't used, or I have a bunch of teams that I've already used on them, so I need to just make a team out of the stuff I have that I've never used or haven't used that often. So we put it together, and this is the end result of what happened, and we're gonna play it back right now. And okay, what do we have going on here? Okay, so the situation is Zapdos versus my Abomasnow, just to get the hail up. So right off the bat, you know, this is a freaking hail team, and I decide I don't want to take a very obvious heat wave coming in, so I go to my Blissey. Just right off the bat, I don't normally use a Blissey, so I personally can't stand them, but this one I'm okay with, because this one is a Parafusion Blissey. So I go right for the Sweet Kiss on the Switch, and I end up confusing his Lucario, but not wanting to take the chance that he's gonna cut through with the confusion and just hit me with a close combat. I'm just gonna go right to Gyarados just to get the Intimidate off. And that way, you know, if he hurts himself good, I'll get a nice, I'll get a free switch in, essentially. Free switch in. And, so we have hail going on. I wish you could just toggle off the animations. I've said it countless times, I'll keep saying it. So he brings in his Zapdos, and I had a feeling he was going to do that, just thinking I would DD, because Scarf Zapdos is faster than DD Gyarados. But, I go right for the Stone Edge, which was actually, it was actually a good call. He kind of walked into it, but that's okay. So, because he makes up for it with this really bad move of myself, I don't know what in the fuck I was expecting on this turn. Because, I really don't have any words for it. I really should have gone to Blissey. I have no idea what the fuck I was doing going to Heatran. So, he switches out, and he goes to Gengar, and I decide I'm going to switch too, and I'm going to go to Mamoswine, because it's Scarfed. And he went for the T-Bolt, so I was kind of expecting to sponge a T-Bolt, but he got out, which is, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's what I expected. Well, not really, but that was a good alternative. Okay, so I go for the Stone Edge on the Gengar. It protects, so it knows what I'm going to do, so he switches into something that quad resists it, so I have no choice but to get out, bring back in Gyarados, get my Intimidate off again. Unfortunately, he does Swords Dance, and, now he's more than likely going to do an Extreme Speed on me, is my mindset, before I kill him, or he's going to switch out. In this case, he goes for the Extreme Speed, and this is a bulkier Gyarados than the Gyarados I normally use, and I'm surprised that it does over half, just with +1, and I think we saw that it was a Life Orb? I'm not sure, but, yeah, there's that. It did over half, which is wow. Okay, so he brings in this Zapdos, and not wanting to take a T-Bolt, I go to Blissey, but he went for U-turn instead. Kind of walked into that. I've been walking into U-turns all night for some reason. And he brings in this Flygon. And, whoa, what do we have here? Just waiting on. And I decide I'm going to switch out and go to Gyarados just to get some more Intimidate action going on. He goes for the Dragon Claw instead of the Earthquake. Probably expecting Gyarados, which, good move once again. Except he went for the Earthquake, wanted to hit me, and then he would have been forced to switch out, because he more than likely is the Scarf variant. Thanks to Hail, it kind of sabotaged me there, because I'm not getting any lefties recoveries, and I probably could have lived the second one, gotten some damage with Waterfall, but hey, that's how it works. So I threaten this thing, because I know I can live a Dragon Claw, but I go for a Substitute instead. And that way, you know, hey, I can get a free hit on whatever comes in, and he's gonna have to try to break my sub and stay in, and I'm gonna get a free Blizzard. At this point, I guess he doesn't value, or Gengar is the one that can break the sub the easiest, but he's going to have to fodder something essentially out, because the rest of his team is kind of Ice Weak except for one, but the one he has left for it, can't really touch me. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling, but you'll see later what I'm talking about. So I go for Protect to see if he has the Fire Blast, and he does. So at that point, there's no way in fuck I'm gonna stay in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. And he switches out too, expecting me to do that. And I go to Blissey, thankfully, who sponges the shit out of Starmie. And what happens here? Oh wait, more lefties in Hail animation. Anyway, he gets out, and I'm gonna do what I've done for the third time in the match: Sweet Kiss on the Switch, which is cool because 75 accuracy, and you know, I normally don't have good luck with anything below 80 accuracy, as you're gonna see in one of my videos coming up. But anyway, so he hurts himself in his confusion, which is cool. So I go for the T-Wave, and now we have Parafusion going on, which basically makes this Blissey demon spawn. Like, head desking is a complete understatement as to what this thing makes people do. So I decide to get out, and I don't want to take that off chance. And he snaps out of confusion, and he goes for the Earthquake, and I'm like, fuck. There is no way in hell I could have made a worse prediction right there. I was expecting the Dragon move, and I thought I was safe with the Parafusion, but he snaps out, he doesn't get paralyzed, he takes out my Heatran, and it's like, what is going on? My mind is full of fuck right now. So, fortunately he gets paralyzed because he went for the Extreme Speed. Useless crit was useless, since, you know, it's Blizzard coming off of Abomasnow, and that thing's gonna get raped. Okay, so he goes to Flygon, and I want to see what he's gonna do. I am expecting a Fire Blast again, but, you know, on the off chance he goes for the U-turn or something, expecting me to switch. I don't know. So, he does go for the Fire Blast. I don't want to get threatened by that, but I switch out, and he bluffed me, and he went into Zapdos instead, which is good. Good play. So, I go into Blissey here, and Zapdos, the only thing Zapdos can do to... Actually, Zapdos can't do shit, so he decides to U-turn out. And, I go for the Sweet Kiss first, because everything can get confused unless it has own tempo. But ground types cannot get paralyzed, stuff with Limber cannot get paralyzed, and obviously the stuff that cannot get confused blatantly outnumbers the stuff that cannot get paralyzed. So I'm gonna go for the... Or it might have been the other way around. I think I got minced up in my words there. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is it's easier to confuse than it is to paralyze. But, so I go for that, and he doesn't hurt himself, sadly. But I know I can live one of these because it's Scarfed. If it was Banded or if it was Life Orb, it might be a different story. But I go for the Soft Boiled to try to stall out with Hail and stuff. And plus, he's still confused, so he might end up hitting himself. But it looks... Yeah, he lives with some retardedly little amount of health right there. I think he told me like 6 or 5 or some little number like that. Anyway, he snaps out of confusion, goes for the Earthquake. I switched to Abomasnow on the off chance that would happen. You know, if he got killed off by Hail, if he hurt himself, that's good. If not, I can definitely take it because he's locked in on it. So he goes to Zapdos next, and I figure I'll Protect just to see if I can Hail stall him out. If he goes for U-turn, he's going to be forced to stay in. If he switches out, whatever, he's only got a Starmie left. So we have that. And he goes for the Specs Hydro Pump because Specs and because Stab, and yeah, and it does a lot. Like, wow. But because he didn't do enough damage on that, and I'm going to Protect and get my health back and stuff, it's not going to be enough, especially, you know, because I resist it. I resist it rather well, and I'll Protect every other turn. But, yeah. Okay, so what happens here? Stalling, more stalling on my behalf. Thank God I don't play full stall. I'll normally only have 1 or 2 on my team tops that do that, with the exception of this one. But I go for the Blizzard, and I get the useless freeze right on the last turn. I would have been dying for that on any other turn but this one, you know. It would have come in handy versus... Actually, I don't think I used it versus anything else. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that it was a pointless freeze. Kind of locked it in that he was going to lose, especially since I Protected on that turn to stall him out. And that was a good game, especially for, you know, a team that I did not think was going to function at all well. I didn't even have to use Glaceon, as you can see in the thumbnail. But, like I said, this is the first out of, I think, 5 or 6 videos that are in the stream. I'm going to try to narrate them all on the same day, so don't be alarmed if I'm wearing the same shirt. Just means I did them all on the same day, no big. It's not like I don't have any other clothes. Okay, the other thing I want to tell you guys is I'm working on some new Pokemon. I made a list on the way to Rocky Point of things that I want to make. Basically things I don't have already, or things that I have non-standard versions of, or things that I want non-standard versions of. Anyway, the point is I want more Pokemon. I wrote down on a list, there's like 45 of them or something like that. I got around 7 done last night, because yeah, and not much else. You're gonna see more Pokemon. That's it. Bye.